Hi Daybreaker, my name's Ron and I'm here to show you how to use the Thermo Pro coffee machine by Curtis. We affectionately call this machine Curtis. It looks a little intimidating, but it really isn't. I wanted to show you today how to make this thing work so you can serve coffee, which is very important here at Daybreak. First, I want to show you the set of instructions that should be nearby each of these machines, so they will help you as you look over this video, but you can also see the instructions which are close by. All right, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do is turn the machine on. So here's the panel. It's pretty simple. You hit on. Now it's going to take a few, probably 30 seconds or so to warm up. So as that's happening, I'm going to show you how to prepare the coffee baskets, because that's important. You don't want any grounds in the coffee. So the first thing you do is you get the basket that is your primary basket where your coffee is going to go. Very simple thing, has these two little flaps here, and they're important. I'll tell you why in a minute. But you'll find your filters close by. If you don't know where the filters are, just ask somebody on your team and they'll show you. All right, so you place the filter into the basket, trying to keep all the sides up. Because if the sides fold over, as the coffee gets wet from the water, it's going to expand up through the filter and it could go over. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen, because if you take a drink of your coffee and you get grounds in it, it's not a good experience. So these little things, these flaps, if you will, come down and they will help hold the coffee filter in place. Pretty simple. The next thing you want to do is put the coffee in. So we'll put this up here. Your coffee, again, should be close by in each of the coffee stations. Now we're going to make a half a carafe. This thing is called a carafe. It's a thermal carafe. It will be what we brew the coffee directly into, and it will help keep the coffee warm for a very long time at the right temperature. So here's what we want to do. We want to take 2 packs, because for this carafe, it could take up to 4 packs. But for today, we're going to make a half a carafe, so therefore 2 packs. And that's in the instructions I just referred to. So basically you just cut the pack at the top. Pretty simple. And I didn't cut far enough, but you open it up. Awesome smell. You dump that into the filter that you just prepared for the main basket. Okay, and we're going to do that twice. And we dump that in. Okay. So you can see, pretty simple. Coffee's in there. Spread it out. Again, make sure your sides are up, your flaps are down. It slides very easily into the top bracket. Now, as we were preparing that, the machine told us that it's ready. All lights are green. It's ready to go. So you have 2 sides on these machines. We're going to work with the one side, so this is the panel that we're going to work with. Now, before we actually hit the button to get things started, there's one more thing that we learned over time using this to help us prevent getting anything that doesn't belong, like coffee grounds, into the actual coffee. And that's a second filter. This is something we have standing by, another basket, a smaller filter. It simply fits in just like that. And again, we don't want that to fold down. So we keep that handy, make sure it's all set. And what you're going to do is place that right there on top of the carafe. So it fits real nicely on top. It's just going to catch the coffee as it goes into the carafe. Very simple. Now you're ready to go. So remember, we put 2 packs of coffee in. That's halfway up. So on here it says medium, and it actually has a visual that shows you it's a halfway point. There's only one button there. There's 3 up choices, but it's actually the same button. It's called brew. So we're going to hit the brew button, and it tells you it's going to take 7 minutes and 17 seconds to brew this pot of coffee. And if you see down below, the coffee immediately starts coming out at the right temperature. It's going into the carafe, and that's it. Kind of set it and forget it. So we'll assume at some point that this coffee is finished. So then what do? But once it's finished, and we're going to let this brew because we don't interrupt the brewing cycle. Once it's finished, you take everything away, and you'll know because the time will run out. It'll stop dripping down through. Then you take this carafe, you put the thermal lid on, make sure this top part's on because we don't want any of the heat to escape, and that will go on top, simply screws in, you pick up the carafe and you put it on the stand and you're ready to go. Make sure you put it at the right one. So today we just made regular coffee, and we have decaf, and we have European roast, and sometimes we have specialty coffees. Just make sure you put it on the right one so the folks know what they're getting, especially the caffeinated versus decaf. We don't want to trick anybody. So that's pretty simple. That's it. Hope you have a good time making coffee, and thank you for serving. Hi Daybreaker, my name's Ron, and I'm here to show you how to use the Thermo Pro coffee machine by Curtis. We affectionately call this machine Curtis. It looks a little intimidating, but it really isn't. I wanted to show you today how to make this thing work so you can serve coffee, which is very important here at Daybreak. First, I wanted to show you the set of instructions that should be nearby each of these machines, so they will help you as you look over this video, but you can also see the instructions which are close by. All right, so let's get started.